what trust is. What is trust? I'm glad you asked. Let's get into it. My favorite version of the definition when I was just searching all the different definitions, there's a lot for trust, but my biggest one, check this out. Trust is freedom from suspicion or doubt. I know that's deep, and I hope that you just kind of was able to grasp that. Trust is the freedom of suspicion or doubt. So when you're placing your trust and you're feeling suspicious and you're feeling doubtful, then that's an indicator that you may have placed your trust in the wrong place, person, or thing. And this is what I want you to start to be aware of. Trust is built and maintained by small actions over time. It's all about consistency. What consistent actions do you see? Here's a quick example. So I'm gonna stick to my notes on this one because I don't want to miss a part. Say you were driving in your car and you see a green light. You'd probably drive right through it without even thinking about it. So check this out. First, you trusted the light was red in the other direction even though you couldn't see it. Second, you trusted that other drivers would see the red light and stop, even though you don't even know them or the condition of their car. And third, you trusted the traffic lights were working properly. Now, just in that simple scenario, a lot of trust is being placed in people, things, and environment. The reason we trusted, or that we trust, is because they have proven to be reliable over an extended period of time, AKA they have been consistent. And so when you're thinking about trust, think about the consistency. Pay attention to that. Trust is and requires taking a risk. It takes courage to take a risk. You expose yourself to the risk so that you can gain knowledge. Sometimes the risk is necessary, otherwise we would never know. Trust requires vulnerability. Now, I know that word sometimes is like, okay, he's talking about vulnerability, I'm gone, I'm turning this off. But before you turn it off, just wait, hear me out. Because when I searched the definition of it, I was actually kind of mind blown. You just kind of assume that you know these words because you understand them in the context. But when you start to dive deeper and really try to understand things, it kind of opens it up. So let me read this definition to you. The quality or state of being exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed, either physically or emotionally. Now, I know that's a lot to take in that definition, but if trust requires vulnerability, and that's what vulnerability is, we should probably be a lot more mindful of the way that we're placing it and where we are placing it. Trust involves taking ownership, regardless of the result. I love this one because it's tough for a lot of us. We want to blame where we placed it versus ourselves of how we placed it, okay? And we've all done this, I've done it myself as well. But we are the ones that get to choose where to place our trust. No one else can do that for us. We take the risk whether it's calculated or not, okay? We have to be positive and stand by our decision. And at the very least, we have to grow from it. Which is why I mentioned earlier that awareness is key. So that means we can't go around blaming them, blaming it, blaming that place. They or it didn't place our trust. I want you to think about that. Trust is not a matter of techniques, tricks, or tools, but of character, okay? This is very important. Character determines who you are and what you do. Let's dive deeper into character, because if trust involves that, right? Trust is not a matter of those other things, but of character. So we got to understand what character is. Character communicates credibility. It harnesses respect, creates consistency, there's that word again, and earns trust. Okay? So that means you have to earn trust. And we all kind of knew that already, but you earn trust by your character, not by being smooth talker and all that good stuff. We are trusted not because of how smooth we are on the outside or how well we communicate, neither of which reflect being trustworthy. Most of us are trusted by our way of being, by our character. This example comes to mind. I think about just a car, right? You have a friend borrow your car. Now, if you know your friend's character, they have a heavy foot, they leave a lot of trash in their car, they use all the gas, they don't bring it back filled, right? You know the character, so would you trust them with borrowing your car? Or flip it, you know their character, they take care of the vehicle, they know that you know that they drive their car very nice, they take it to the car wash, they wash it themselves, they make sure it smells good, they make sure that the tank is always filled. These are the kinds of things that you're paying attention to in the lives of other people, other places, and other things. Is what is their character? What are they consistently doing? And can they and that and it earn your trust? Because it's valuable. You don't just go placing, okay? Another example makes me think of when you are, young and your parents decide, okay, we're gonna leave, right? We're gonna go on a little vacation. Now you can either be the kind of child where your parents trust you and say they're gonna be responsible and take care of the home, or you can be the kind of child that's like, we're gonna throw a fat party, we're gonna rage out, and we're just gonna have the best time ever, and then parents come home and stuff's broken, things are dirty, all that stuff, right? Character, character, character. Let's move on. We all know the saying, trust is hard to build, but easy to lose. I've definitely misplaced my trust, and I've definitely been on the other side of misplaced trust. And both suck, to be honest, it is what it is. And that's why I felt like this was such an important topic, to just continue to address and dive deeper into, because you'll see, watch as we continue. Can trust be rebuilt? Absolutely. Will it take time and intentionality? Absolutely. Will it be easy? Absolutely not. One thing I've learned about claiming that you yourself are trustworthy is that you can't really claim that if you don't know yourself. If you don't know your own character, you can't say you're trustworthy. And so that's very, very important that I want you to take away, okay? It's all about character. You can easily say you got it, but in reality, your character shows that you don't. Be honest with yourself. Know yourself before taking on the responsibility of trust from someone else, okay? It's very important. And be sure to ask yourself, can they or it handle the responsibility that I would place on them if I were to place my trust in them, right? And that's how these are the kinds of questions you start to pay attention to and ask yourself. And take your time. In the world that we live in, everything is boom, boom, boom. You gotta just move so fast that you don't even realize. And next thing you know, your trust is placed in the wrong thing, the wrong person. You're just going with the best thing that flows, or you went with someone else's thoughts and you didn't even think yourself. That's why I'm trying to bring this to life. I want this to come to life in your life and really, really start to take root. Slow down and make wise decisions. Because the bush or the tree is all up to thee. Don't go around placing your trust carelessly.